Hello, everyone. This is the most magnificent bird, Buckbeak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review. And this character review will be on Gold Mythic Cameron Scarr. Now, I just gotta say, the name Cameron Scarr, it sounds really cool. It sounds like he's a badass. I love that name. Just the name of the character. It sounds pretty cool. It's not something you hear all the time. But anyway, before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part. And I wanted to go ahead and get this out before CRW this coming up weekend. I know I'm a couple days late on this, at least a day or so late on it, but here we are. We're going to get to it now, and I wanted to get this out before CRW this weekend. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump into this character review, shall we? Cameron Scarr, Road to Survival. His trait is strong, his role is a tank, and his allegiance is a member of the Road to Survival. Now let's take a look at his stats. His attack stat is 6,888. His defense stat is 21,811, and his HP is 28,699. Now let's take a look at his adrenaline rush. Beaten Mess. The recharge rate is 75 AP. We have not seen a 75 AP adrenaline rush in a really long time. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess we'll see. Taunt 5 enemies for 1 turn. Deal 70% of this fighter's current HP as damage to an enemy. This fighter heals for 50% of their max HP for the rest of combat. Okay, so I kinda see why they made it 75 AP, just based off of the taunting 5 enemies, but it's only for 1 turn, but I don't even think this is the worst of the taunt, as we will get to, but yeah, taunting 5 enemies for 1 turn, that's pretty powerful, even though it's only for 1 turn. Plus, you're going to be dealing 70% of his current HP as damage, and if you put him behind the right defensive team with high HP potential, that's going to be a lot of damage. So that's going to be a really good amount of damage. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Plus, he's going to be healing 50% of his max HP for the rest of combat. So it's going to be kind of hard to take him down once that adrenaline rush gets going. I think that's going to be... I feel like that's going to be frustrating, but his signature move might be more frustrating, as we're going to get to in a minute. But overall, I like the adrenaline rush, although the 75 AP is a bit of a negative, but I kind of see why they did that. Although I think most people would have probably preferred if it would have been 66 AP, but I guess that would have made him too OP, but I don't know. Overall, the adrenaline rush is pretty good for defensive purposes. So let's take a look at his signature move. defensive bash. The initial cooldown is turn 1 turn for the cooldown, and number of uses unlimited. This fighter gets defense down block for the rest of combat. Deal 25% of this fighter's current HP as damage and 25% maim damage to an enemy. While on the defense team, taunt one other enemy for the rest of combat. So yeah, you heard. So this fighter is going to get defense down block, which is, yeah, that's pretty good, especially for the rest of combat. That's going to be really good, honestly. Plus, he's going to be dealing 25% of his current HP as damage and 25% as maim damage to an enemy. If you know anything about maim damage is an absolute it's an absolute mess to deal with. And once you and think about it, if his HP is really high, that's going to be even more maim damage. So that's going to be even more of a problem depending on what type of defensive team that you have him behind that has like HP potential, or like the weapon or the mods, all of that combined together. You could potentially one-shot people with Cameron Scarr, like depending on the team that you put him behind, the weapon, mods, all that good stuff. You potentially could be one-shotting people, essentially. And then when on the defensive team, which is where you're going to put Cameron Scarr, obviously, he's going to be taunting one other enemy for the rest of combat. Now, that's pretty much like the Traitor, where he confuses an enemy for the rest of combat, or Laura, where she dazes an enemy for the rest of combat. That's in that same type of, realm. I'm surprised we haven't gotten a taunt one yet up until now. Before now, I'm surprised we hadn't already gotten a taunt one. I believe, isn't there a stun one for the rest of combat? I don't know. I'm not really sure, but be on the lookout for there to be, when a certain tune might come out in the future where they're going to stun one enemy for the rest of combat. That's gonna happen. If it's not already a thing, that's definitely happening. I don't know why Scopely wouldn't do it. That's what they would do. But overall, I think this signature move is really good. Especially if if you're thinking, like, who can I put on my defensive team? So far, I think Cameron Scarr, I think he's actually a pretty good choice. I think he's a pretty great choice. If you want to taunt your enemies, there you go, But if you are using him on attack for some reason, which I'm not sure, I guess if you're doing one of the really, really difficult road maps, he could serve a purpose there. I could definitely see that. But, like, outside of that, I haven't seen any Cameron Scarr, so I don't know. Maybe I'll see some in CRW this weekend. Who knows? I'm not sure of anybody that's pulled him, but you know what? No. I take that back. There was actually one person in Discord that pulled for him, and they ended up getting the 5 times, and they said something about, I hate this game or something. I don't know if they were being serious or sarcastic. They might have been sarcastic, but man, the luck to be able to pull the 5 times character, why would you hate the game? I don't understand, but I can't remember who they was, but hey, congratulations to that person that pulled the 5 times, Cameron Scarr. Man, you got really lucky. But overall, the Adrenaline Rush and the signature move, they're both pretty good. Especially since he's a defensive toon. And that mayhem damage is going to be an absolute beach to deal with. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look at his mythic abilities. Strength, 40% critical hit resistance. Not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about this. Go ahead and level that one up. You're going to get the most use out of him leveling up strength as you would any tank character in the game. Shield spikes, when being attacked by an enemy with taunt, reflect 200% of the damage. Yeah, you heard that right. When being attacked by an enemy with taunt, he's going to reflect 200% of the damage. He's already potentially doing damage, you know, he's potentially one-shotting people with the maim damage, plus the 70% on his adrenaline rush. Now he's potentially more than likely going to be reflecting 200% of the damage if he's being attacked by a target that is taunted. Like, yeah, hello. Like, yeah, level that one up if you want to annoy your opponents even more. That's the way to go. So, shield spikes is really good, and it's going to work really well with Cameron Scarr. Absolutely. Attention grabber. At the start of each wave and turn, 100% chance to remove focus from a random enemy and remove camouflage from 2 random enemies. Oh, ooh, I have a problem with that one. Because if you've watched my Rating With Me videos, you know I have Eva and Ghost, and what are the 2 things they happen to have? They happen to have focus and camouflage. So I'm not too thrilled about this. I'm really not, because I'm going to be complaining. I really am, just because, I mean, it's really good. Attention grabber, it is definitely really good, and I would recommend leveling it up, but oh boy, am I gonna hate that if I ever come up against Cameron Scarr. That's gonna suck so bad for me, but if you personally have Cameron Scarr on your defensive team, that's gonna be a huge win for you. So yeah, I would level up Attention Grabber. I'm hating, that's the one I'm hating, but it is good though. It is good, and I would recommend leveling it up. Healing Pains. When being attacked, this fighter recovers from heal reduction and heals 50% of their max HP. So again, I would probably go ahead, if you want to make the opposing team coming up against your defense, if you want to frustrate the player that's coming up against your defense and you have Cameron Scarr on the team, every single one of his mythic abilities is worth leveling up to make him that much more better and that much more annoying. So he does not have a bad mythic ability in there whatsoever. The one I hate the most is Attention Grabber. That's going to be the bane of my existence. Ooh, okay. But that's going to, they're all very good. They are very good. Honestly, you can't go wrong with leveling up all of them. Now, let's take a look at his specialist skill. Dexterity 2. Whenever this character takes damage from an attack, rush, or signature, they will reduce the damage by 7% for every 20% of their max AP they currently have. If this character's health is above 20%, they will take damage that would kill them. Their health will be reduced to 19% instead. This character cannot be decapitated. Okay, so note, the last part I just want to get to. It says that he can't be decapitated. Okay, yeah, it says that, but if you get crosshairs on him, then that's your workaround of getting him decapitated, which he is going to be harder to take down, but it's not going to be impossible to get crosshairs on him, right? So, just like they say that unhinged Morgan, he can't be decapitated, supposedly, but yeah, no, he can definitely be I can't talk today. But unhinged Morgan, they say he can't be decapitated, but he definitely can. I've decapitated him more than once in raids and or war or roadmap. So we'll see about that. So yeah, this is a mix of tenacity and is it illusion? Or no, it's evasion. And I can't remember what evasion does, but tenacity is pretty much like, if a tenacity toon is about to get killed, normally they would get killed, but they would have like really low HP and they would barely have HP, but it would, they wouldn't be out of the battle. So is it evasion? I think so, but I don't see dexterity a lot. I can't remember the last toon it had it, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about dexterity 2 on Cameron Scarr? Do you think it fits him, or do you think or maybe they should have came up with another, they should have gave him another specialist skill. I'm not sure. I don't really have any thoughts on Dexterity 2 working with Cameron Scarr. I mean, maybe it will, but I'm not too positive. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get to his weapon. Cameron Scarr's Riot Shield. 45% HP, 40% defense, cleanse while attacked, cleanse when attacked. When being attacked, this fighter recovers from all penalties. Improved trait damage reduction. All incoming trait advantage damage against this fighter has the multiplier reduced by 60%. Okay, so the 45% HP I think is a nice touch right off the bat. And the 40% defense is also nice, but he's potentially going to be doing a lot of damage with his HP, which is why I would go ahead and maybe focus in on the HP a little bit more. You could, how you could probably do the weapon, you could go 55% HP, 40% defense, or you could do 50% HP and 50% defense, but I guess it depends on the mods you have. If you don't have really good HP mods, I would perhaps go 55 on HP, 45 on defense, or I don't know, that's kind of one of the two ways that you could go. Either go more so in with the HP, or you could have them 50-50 split right down the middle. I don't really know what else way you could go on his weapon. Now, cleanse when attacked, when he's going to get hit, he's going to recover from all penalties. So, well, there goes my theory about him potentially putting crosshairs on him. So that, you know, I'm sure it's going to be a fun time trying to take down Cameron Scarr. Oh, buddy. Yeah, cleanse when attacked is really good. I don't know why anyone would take that off. So, if you do decide to take that off, I just gotta, you know, you need a brain examination. I'm just gonna say that now. Not meaning anything by it, but like cleanse when attacked, you know, that's gonna make the fight even more frustrating for your opponent and even more in the favor of you. So, and improved trait damage reduction, yeah, that's pretty good. I believe that's on the Valentine's Day axe that I have on Unhinged Morgan, the 4th slot that is, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that one's pretty good, but I would maybe say that's the weakest one, but not to say that it's bad. It's just cleanse when attacked is, I feel like, the best part of his weapon, absolutely. So me personally, I would probably go 55% on HP, 45 defense, or you could go 50-50 and leave the 3rd and 4th slots like they are. I don't think you could do anything better on the weapon, honestly, but you can swap weapons in and out, so that's the advantage to having the 5-star weapons. So, but honestly, his base weapon is probably going to be the best way to go with Cameron Scarr. So yeah, I like the look on him, and the fact that he's using the shield as the weapon, as it is his weapon. That's really cool. And yeah, the artwork over here, I mean, it's, you know, it's kind of graphic, but I don't know, I would say the Lily Call artwork is maybe a little bit more graphic, but they're both kind of graphic. And yeah, I like his simple look, and it looks like he's got I want to say that's a medicine bag, but maybe there's food in there. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I don't have much else to say on Cameron Scarr. Will I be pulling for him? No, I'm not going to be pulling for him just because I don't have the tokens. I want that 300,000 safety net. That guarantees I'm going to get all 5 copies. And someone like Cameron Scarr, you're going to want all 5 copies of him for sure. So anything less than that, I mean, you might be able to get away with it for a little bit, but I don't know. So yeah, I won't be pulling for him just because I don't have the tokens, and I generally don't like pulling for defensive tunes because, like, where are you going to use them at, you know? I don't know, but that's all I got for you guys for today. What are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Cameron Scarr? Do you think he's, well, like, do you think he's good? I'm going to go ahead and ask that. Maybe there's somebody out there that's like, nah, he's not that good. But in seriousness, though, do you think he's a good tune, or do you think he's a bad tune? I think he's a really great tune, I'm going to be honest. And are you going to be pulling for him? And if you have, is he living up to the hype? Or is he maybe a little disappointing? And if you have any other thoughts on Cameron Scarr, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buckbeak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.